Goody goody gumdrops. Look, it's Gary's Falcon back on the lift for the third time. Stop the fun music. This isn't a fun video. This is something that is plaguing, nearly every hobby or passion I've got, from like drums to electronics and cars. It's just the embalming of products. This is the main character in this story. Doesn't even make sense. Looks like some weird rubber horseshoe. But it's a symptom of a far worse thing that I genuinely think is gonna kill the combustion car for the most part. Mate, what's wrong with that? Didn't it get like the treatment, mate, and be sent on her way? Well, yes it did. And after it was sent away, oil leak. Started dripping, just a little boop, boop, boop. And then it started getting worse and worse. And sure enough, this is a brand new sump seal. And what do you see? That's ripped, baby. That ripped upon application. This basically just kisses on there. This doesn't have huge stresses on it. And just merely fitting it made it split. James noted, look, it's not very flexible. So this is a third-party part, meaning that Ford didn't make this. Another company did to Ford's apparent specification. And this is a parts that we've always used. James has always used, I've always used. Like, speaking to Gaz about this, he's never bought genuine gaskets ever. Me either. We're breaking that trend. Ford genuine parts. Look, this has been in stock since 2018. Look at this. That actually feels like a gummy worm. You can clap it against the other one. That's how crap that third-party one was. Also, like, mate, what's the big deal, eh? Like, you know, the genuine one's better, and then that's fine. That's how it is. Well, no, as I said, like, we never, ever use genuine gaskets. It's always fine. Like, you just get ones that are made to spec, and away you go. But this isn't the first time that this has troubled us. We're standing next to James's X-Trail. This is James's beast. Maybe you hear about it another time. You need more leaves, man. Last year, James, I watched you struggle with this for about a month. Because it blew its head, yeah?
Yeah, the head gasket went.
Yeah, head gasket died, so you fixed the head gasket, and the head gasket was fine.
Yep.
And then it just wouldn't stop ticking.
Yeah, it made a real nasty rattle noise and was slower takeoff.
Yep, and to the point where you couldn't figure it out.
No.
And that Nissan couldn't figure it out.
No.
You even tried running like 40W70 in it to see if it would shut up.
Yep.
And it was literally two like little, what was it?
They're just little round seals. They look like fiber piston rings, if you know what a piston ring is.
Because it's part of the cam timing set, so the camshafts all spinning whatnot, they need to advance and fall behind depending on where the engine RPM is, and it's done with oil pressure, and there were seals that let oil in and out at certain points and rates and whatnot, and they blew out and disintegrated and were brand new. Same problem as Gaz's car, in for a head gasket, and had heaps of new problems from the parts that have replaced it. New head gasket, new seals, new everything, and it balked, and it was like, you nearly threw this engine away.
I was so close to buying a second-hand motor.
Yeah, like, or even just looking at a different car, like that brushed past your brain at what if I got something else, and all because of cheap replacement part, and it took so long because you didn't assume it. You replaced it.
I had no idea.
Why would it be bad?
Yeah, exactly.
So you see there, James nearly threw away the engine. Heck, he was even low-key thinking about a different car. Nissan didn't know what was wrong. No one did, and it was because the trust in a new part. Hey, look, name and shame. This crappy transmission jack that didn't even make it to a job before it just started raining its own oil all over itself. The label's not meant to be that color, you know? Didn't even make it to a gig. Cheers, Paramount Browns, for the worst sandblaster I've ever graced my eyeballs at. We're in the age of junk, and now it's gotten up to these little componenty bits. This car's from 2016. There's cars this old that still have warranties. This is a Barra. This is one of the most common engines around Australia. People who like keeping these running. There are lots of people buying these parts. And it's like, geez, you can have a workshop and a James and all the tools required, and you still can't get it to stop dripping oil. And worse, it never dripped oil in the first place. That was just because it needed the head gasket done, but you got to go through like 7 or 8 gaskets to get to it. So this is a new problem caused by new parts. It never had an oil leak. The original seals that James pulled out were still mint. They were still just like these like actual genuine Ford ones. But he just figured, this is a new one, better put it in. Think of all the mechanic shops out there who still think, like we did, that these parts are still decent. How many dodgy mechanic shops are out there that do a bad job and then blame the customer? Like, oh, no, it was always like that. No, you brought it in like that. I can't imagine the headache these parts are causing all over the place. And why do I think this is going to be the end of combustion engines? Because combustion engines are really freaking complicated. It's the beauty of them. It's all these moving parts. You make the stroke a different length. You make the width of the bores different. You add cams. You have add cylinders, a V configuration front, and they all sound unique. They all create a different power curve. It's what makes them beautiful. The amount of combinations you can get out of these. But it means you've got so many gaskets and fittings and bolts and nuts and things that if they're not perfect, man, when I was a teenager, I tried all the booger fixes. They never work. It'll never stop raining oil. It'll never stop clacking. It'll never stop running poorly. These are precision pieces of equipment. And if the replacement parts are terrible, people are just going to stop fixing them and just start throwing them out. And the reason why this is dangerous is because you never suspect the things that you've just fixed. It's why it took James so long to figure it out. Why would it be bad? I just changed it. Oi, I daily drive a Nissan Leaf. I love that weird gumpy little frog nugget. It should be up to its third oil change at this point. No, it doesn't need it. You just plug it in the wall and wake up to a full tank every morning. I never had a full tank with my petrol cars. I didn't have $120 to squirt in it. And it's assisted a whole bunch of my friends who've had their combustion cars blow up, and I've gone, take the Leaf for a bit, and boom, off they go. And that's the thing. If these replacement parts, oh, I dropped it. These crappy replacement parts are just gonna make combustion engines a nightmare for people. You know, where people forget that they're actually meant to be really well put together and actually be very quiet and refined. I mean, incredible. The fact that it's blowing flames and fire inside of this. People, oh, it's those rattly, oily things that drip all over the place. That's what these are gonna turn into. And everyone's gonna start dumping them and ditching them. When, like, you know, a used EV is just around the corner at a rock bottom price. I'm getting this out as like a plea, like, it's gonna change. It's gonna kill the hobby. And because if you only depend on the genuine gaskets, that's when they start gouging you. It's when they start going, oh, like the third party parts, $20. We're like, we're $120. Huh? No, it's what you gotta pay to get the real thing if you want your car to run properly. It happens all the time. But every major company's completely bought out. They're full of hungry shareholders that want to see endless growth. Actually making something decent doesn't matter anymore. I honestly think that the only fix of this is when like 3D printing of metal housings and like rubbery gaskets and things gets good enough where part shops can have the facilities there, and then you just buy the license to print the part that you need for your weird car. Because it's only a matter of time before even the genuine ones aren't even good, because when they stop supporting the engines, it's over. James, you're putting sealant on it.
Yeah, I don't trust it.
Why?
Because it didn't work and now I'm burnt.
It doesn't say to put it on though.
Yeah, I would actually be fine not putting this on here, but I'm doing it.
And this is the dangerous precedent that gets set. Like, you know, like fixing cars is like baking. You don't improvise. If it asks for 10 grams, you put 10 grams in it. If it wants 10 foot-pounds on a bolt, you put 10 foot-pounds on it. And so the fact that you got to schmoo stuff up just to get it to work now, this is when people stop trusting repair manuals and just goober it and go, oh, no, trust me, this is how it's meant to be done. Like, future combustion engines are just going to run terrible. They're going to be new, they're going to get repaired, and then they're just going to be bags of bolts. I heard James mutter, I'm not letting this leak again, and look at him triple schmooing. Look what these crappy parts have done to my bike. He's lost all his confidence.
I don't trust this. I don't trust it.
That's so sad. See, crappy parts make this not fun.